Every Sunday night, you become a productivity guru. You plan the perfect week, color code your calendar, and promise yourself this is when it all comes together. Then Wednesday hits, and you're eating cereal for dinner while binge watching shows you've already seen. Here's the uncomfortable truth: you're not failing at discipline because you're weak. You're failing because you're trying to solve a systems problem with a willpower solution. The most disciplined people aren't actually disciplined. They've simply designed their lives so that doing the right thing is easier than doing the wrong thing. While you're white-knuckling through temptation, they've eliminated the temptation entirely. Think about someone you consider disciplined. They wake up early not because they have superhuman willpower, but because they go to bed early. They eat healthy not because they resist junk food, but because they don't keep junk food in their house. Your brain treats your future self like a completely different person. Sunday you makes promises that Wednesday you has to keep, and Wednesday you is basically a stranger with different energy and definitely different opinions about that 5 a.m. workout. The discipline delusion is believing that you can think your way into better behavior. You can't, but you can design your way there. Chapter 1. Your brain on discipline. Your brain is designed to fail at discipline. This isn't a personal failing. It's evolutionary biology working exactly as intended. Your prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for self-control, is like a smartphone battery. It starts the day fully charged, but every decision drains it a little more. By 3 p.m., when you need discipline most, you're running on empty. This is why grocery shopping when hungry is dangerous, and why you make terrible decisions when tired. It's not weakness, it's predictable brain chemistry. Meanwhile, your limbic system, the part that wants immediate gratification, runs on a completely different operating system. It doesn't understand later or long-term benefits. It sees a donut and thinks, donut now. Your reward system has the patience of a caffeinated squirrel. Here's what actually happens when you try to be disciplined. Your prefrontal cortex says, we should work out. Your limbic system says, Netflix exists. They battle it out, and whichever system has more resources wins. Guess which one is better rested and better fed? The game is rigged against you from the start, but once you understand the rules, you can start playing to win. Chapter 2. The Wednesday Effect. Wednesday at 3 p.m. is where discipline goes to die. If you've ever wondered why your motivation mysteriously vanishes midweek, there's actual science behind it. Monday, you're riding the fresh start wave. Tuesday, you're still coasting on that momentum. Then Wednesday happens. By Wednesday, decision fatigue has compound interested itself into exhaustion. You've made thousands of micro-decisions since Monday. Your glucose levels are inconsistent from poor sleep and stress, and your prefrontal cortex is basically sending you straight to voicemail. This is when you find yourself standing in the kitchen at 3 p.m., staring into the fridge for the 7th time. Not because you're hungry, but because making any other decision feels impossible. Choosing what to eat for lunch suddenly feels like solving quantum physics. The Wednesday effect isn't random. It's as predictable as gravity. Most people interpret this as personal failure. They think, I'm just not disciplined enough. But you wouldn't blame yourself for getting tired after running a marathon. Your brain ran a decision-making marathon from Monday to Wednesday. Understanding this pattern is the first step to working with your biology instead of against it. Chapter 3. The Willpower Trap. Trying harder at discipline makes you worse at it. This might be the most important thing you'll hear today. Willpower is like a muscle, but not in the way you think. People say strengthen your willpower, like you'd strengthen your biceps. But willpower is more like your heart. If you overwork it, you don't get stronger, you get cardiac arrest. Here's what happens when you rely on willpower. You wake up motivated, resist the donut, skip social media, choose the salad. Each act of resistance depletes your self-control reserves. By evening, you have zero resistance left. So you binge everything you avoided all day. It's like trying to hold your breath for 16 hours. Eventually, your body will force you to breathe, and when it does, you'll gasp harder than if you'd been breathing normally all along. The motivation myth tells us to wait until we feel inspired. But motivation is just an emotion, and emotions are temporary. Basing your discipline on motivation is like basing your career on how you feel when you wake up. Disciplined people don't have more willpower. They need less. They've set up their lives so that good choices happen automatically. The goal isn't to strengthen your willpower, it's to make willpower irrelevant. Chapter 4. Your inner saboteur. You're not lazy, you're emotionally protecting yourself. Procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotion regulation problem. When you avoid doing something important, you're unconsciously protecting yourself from potential failure, judgment, or overwhelm. Your brain has an incredibly sophisticated threat detection system. If starting that project feels threatening, your brain will find creative ways to avoid it. Suddenly, organizing your bookshelf becomes urgent. Your inbox must be at zero. This is why the tasks you avoid most are often the most important ones. The higher the stakes, the more threatening it feels, the more elaborate your avoidance becomes. Here's the twisted part. The longer you avoid something, the more threatening it becomes. That project you've been putting off for a week, now it's urgent and you feel guilty. Your brain's threat detection goes into overdrive. Self-criticism makes this worse, not better. When you call yourself lazy, you're adding shame to an already overwhelming situation. Your brain interprets this as additional threat and doubles down on avoidance. The solution isn't to push harder, it's to make the task feel safer. Chapter 5. The environment you don't see. Your willpower is fighting a rigged game. Every day you make about 35,000 decisions, and most are influenced by factors you don't notice. Your environment is making choices for you. The apps on your phone's home screen determine what you do first thing in the morning. The food in your fridge determines what you eat. You think you're choosing, but your environment already chose. Grocery stores spend millions studying exactly where to place products because they know context is more powerful than willpower. They understand something most people don't. You blame yourself for checking your phone too much, but you put an addiction machine in your pocket and wonder why you're hooked. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. This isn't a character flaw. This is a device designed specifically to capture your attention. The people you think are naturally disciplined have simply designed better environments. They don't keep junk food in the house. They charge their phones outside the bedroom. They lay out their workout clothes the night before. Trying to be disciplined in a chaotic environment is like trying to diet in a donut factory. Change the environment and the behavior changes automatically. Join our YouTube membership and get exclusive perks like early access to scripts, input on future topics about productivity, and connect with a like-minded community that gets it. Click join below and let's build your easier, more intentional life together. Chapter 6. Systems beat goals. Forget goals, build systems. This single shift will transform how you approach discipline forever. Goals are about the results you want. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. If you want to lose weight, the goal is losing a certain amount of pounds. The system is eating nutritious meals and exercising regularly. Here's why goals often fail. They're binary. You either achieve them or you don't. This creates an all-or-nothing mentality. Miss one workout and you've failed at fitness. Systems thinking flips this completely. With systems, you can't fail. You can only practice. Every action is either moving you toward your desired identity or away from it. One missed workout doesn't break the system. The most successful people are systems thinkers. They don't set goals like, read 50 books this year. They build systems like, read for 20 minutes every morning. They don't aim to get fit. They create systems around daily movement. Systems compound. Goals don't. Every time you follow your system, you strengthen the habit. Every repetition makes the next one easier. Fall in love with the process, and the results will fall in love with you. Chapter 7. Identity over action. Don't change what you do. Change who you are. This is the difference between temporary change and permanent transformation. Most people try to change from the outside in. They focus on outcomes. Lose weight, save money, get organized. But lasting change happens from the inside out. It starts with identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. You write one page, you vote for writer. You do 10 push-ups, you vote for athlete. Each small action is casting a ballot in the election of your identity. The goal isn't to read a book, it's to become someone who reads. When your identity aligns with your desired behavior, the behavior becomes automatic. Runners run, writers write. Healthy people make healthy choices. Here's what's beautiful about this approach. It works immediately. You don't have to wait until you've read 50 books to call yourself a reader. Read for 10 minutes today, and you're already practicing being a reader. Ask yourself, what would a disciplined person do right now? Not what would you do, but what would the person you want to become do? Then do that thing. Change the story you tell yourself about yourself, and your behavior will change to match. Chapter 8. The Compound Effect. 1% better every day compounds to 37 times better in a year. This isn't motivational fluff. This is exponential math working in your favor. We dramatically overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. You can't transform your life in 24 hours, but you can absolutely transform it in 365 days through tiny, consistent actions. The compound effect is why small habits matter more than big gestures. Reading for 10 minutes daily will teach you more than reading for 8 hours once a month. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Here's what makes this challenging. The effects are invisible at first. Day 1 of reading 10 minutes, you feel basically the same. Day 30, still the same. Day 365, you're a completely different person. This is why most people quit. They expect dramatic results from small actions, but bamboo spends 4 years growing roots before it shoots up 90 feet in 6 weeks. The growth was happening all along. Your habits don't just create results, they create identity. Every small action is evidence of who you're becoming. Small hinges swing big doors. Start ridiculously small, but start today. Chapter 9. Design your default. Make discipline the lazy option. This is environmental design at its finest. Disciplined people aren't more motivated. They've engineered better defaults. A default is what happens when you make no decision at all. If healthy food is more convenient than junk food, you'll eat healthy by default. Your environment should make good choices inevitable and bad choices inconvenient. This is called choice architecture, designing your space so that the easiest path is also the best path. Here's how to apply this. Add friction to bad habits and remove friction from good habits. Want to eat less junk food? Don't keep it in the house. Want to exercise more? Sleep in your workout clothes. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow and the TV remote in a drawer. Every extra step matters. Studies show that people eat significantly less candy when it's in a drawer versus on the desk. Just because opening a drawer requires one extra movement. The most successful people have the most boring habits. They eat the same healthy breakfast, follow the same morning routine, work in the same organized space. This isn't rigidity. It's intelligent design. Design your environment like your life depends on it, because it does. Chapter 10. The minimum viable habit. Start so small it feels ridiculous. If your habit doesn't feel laughably easy, it's too big. The biggest mistake people make is starting too big. They want to meditate for an hour, exercise for 90 minutes, read for 2 hours. This isn't ambition, it's self-sabotage. Your brain sees big changes as threats. Here's the secret. You're not trying to achieve results with your minimum viable habit. You're trying to prove identity. One push-up doesn't get you fit, but it proves you're someone who exercises. The result isn't the point, the identity evidence is the point. Start with habits so small you can't say no. Want to start exercising? Your habit is putting on workout shoes. Want to start writing? Your habit is opening a document and typing one sentence. This feels stupid because your brain wants dramatic transformation, but dramatic transformation comes from undramatic consistency. You're playing a long game that most people don't have the wisdom to play. Once the minimum habit is automatic, and only then, you can gradually increase. One push-up becomes 5, 5 becomes 10. But never skip the minimum. Master the art of showing up, and everything else becomes possible. You don't need discipline. You need design. Everything we've covered combines into one elegant operating system for automatic good behavior. Here's your new framework. Identity, environment, systems, minimum habits. Start with identity. Who do you want to become? Design your environment to support that identity. Build systems around daily processes, not annual goals. Start with minimum viable habits that prove your identity. This isn't about perfection, it's about progression. You'll have bad days, missed habits, and environmental failures. That's not system breakdown, that's human existence. The system accounts for imperfection and keeps working anyway. Your discipline operating system runs in the background. Like your phone's operating system, you don't think about it. It just makes everything else work better. Remember, you're not fighting your brain, you're working with it. Your brain wants to conserve energy, seek rewards, and avoid pain. Design your life so that discipline aligns with these natural tendencies. The most disciplined people are actually the laziest. They've set up their lives so that doing the right thing requires less effort than doing the wrong thing. Start tomorrow with one tiny habit that proves who you want to become. You're not broken. You never were. You just needed better tools. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join.